What's up, beautiful Gemini friends? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. That is me. My name's Annie. I am happy to have all the Geminis out there today. We are going to do a short little tarot spread about love and relationships. What I call the little sips tarot, right? You're just taking the temperature check, seeing where the energies are at. So if you don't currently have a person, this could certainly represent someone coming in that you haven't met yet. Sometimes it ends up being someone from your past. Ultimately, I ask that you come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind. Only take away the messages that resonate with you, that speak to you, motivate you, inspire you, confirm something you needed to see, or the opposite, illuminate you to something new, okay? So pretty wide umbrella there. Never need to force anything to fit your circumstance or scenario. If it feels strange or foreign, drop it like it's hot. Please do have faith that it's going out to someone else who needs to hear it, okay? Couple more shuffles for my Geminis. As always, everything about this video that you'll want to know will be written in the description box below. That will include the decks I'm using here today, as well as my social media. I am the Intuitive Teacup on Facebook and Instagram, as well as .com. Check that out if you're at all interested. And if not, here we are on YouTube. We're going to do it. 3 more cards for Gemini regarding love, relationships, where their person is at. For their energy, let's get where their head is at, where their heart is at, and the action forward. So some of you are having romantic feelings with a Capricorn. You have 3 cards of Capricorn, and Capricorn is showing up in your heart space. It doesn't have to be that. But if not, then we got to look into what that is, because it could be extreme passion. It could also be addiction issues, codependency. So let's see what's coming up here. So bottom of your deck, you have Queen of Wands and 2 of Cups. So potentially flirtation with a fire sign, particularly a female fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sag. It doesn't have to be. It could just be some sort of magnetic or really like dynamic connection, but it would be relatively new with the 2 of Cups. So interesting. Yeah, some of you I think are going to start flirting. It could also potentially be with a Cancer. You may have strong Cancer in your chart. I heard taking some sort of risk. That it actually may scare you a little bit. It's not, yeah, that's exactly what this is. It's nothing really scary. It's the idea of having to ask that person out, right? It's like, oh, what if they say no? What if they reject me? It's nothing tremendously big, but and this could go for your person too. The energies may go vice versa, but there's something about when you watch them from afar, you're like, oh, wow, they're so great, and they're this and that and the other thing. But when you have to go and approach them, it's like you're shaking in your boots. You feel like a child. Something about, yeah, like it's very cute. It's a very sweet, like flirtation type vibe. There's something about either worrying about their rejection or something that's keeping you stuck. It could also be that maybe you're in a relationship with, I don't know, a high priestess, with a Cancer or a Pisces, but you may actually be interested in like another Gemini or a Virgo or something. And so it's like, I want to, but I can't. It could also indicate that you may be either a single parent or in a relationship where there is a child involved. And I'm not saying this in a negative way, but that child may be hindering your ability to go and date, right? Particularly if you are a single mother. That's sort of coming through for some of my Geminis right now. Anyway, so let's look at your person's energy. So their overall energy in this spread, you know, in the next couple weeks, we'll say, right? 8 of Pentacles. So they're probably a solid worker. They could be very focused on their job, on their career. They could be putting out applications. But I actually like this card. Like to me, 8 of Pentacles is always very positive. Sometimes we look at it as like the artisan or the apprentice. It's becoming the master of your craft. It's perfecting your skill, your workload, all that sort of thing. So if they're not a tremendously hard worker, though they probably are, it's indicating that whatever they set their mind to, they'll see it to completion. They'll get it done properly. They'll get it done right. They like to make informed decisions because something about with Pentacles, it's like the tangible evidence that it's worked, so let's do it that way. So maybe they're not an outside the box thinker. You could interpret it as that, but overall very positive energy. But if this is someone you're interested in and some days they're hot and cold, it could just be that they're kind of working their ass off. And if it doesn't have to do with work, they could be something in their life may have changed. Maybe they're taking care of their kids or their parent. Maybe they're moving. Maybe they're, you know what I mean? Fill in the blank. They're busy with stuff. So not a bad thing at all, though. So then in their mind, what's going on in their mind? So they have the World card. So they are seeking freedom. They're seeking liberation from whatever has them kept busy. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but you both have 8s coming up. So 8s are all about breaking free from obstruction, as is this. It's Saturnian energy, Saturn, ruled by Capricorn. So if you're not dealing with a Capricorn, it could indicate that there's like, in a sense, like forces beyond your control are sort of keeping you or your person stuck in essentially a safety zone, right? The 4s in tarot are the safety. Here it's 8. So it's like you multiply it by 2. It's like the double I don't know if safety zone, but there's something that you need to break through. You need a breakthrough. You need an epiphany. You need to be able to reach some sort of milestone where you can walk away and discover something new or build upon what you already have. So yeah, I mean, in their mind, they're looking to grow, they're looking to expand. They could quite literally be finishing up like a semester at work or I'm sorry, at school or something like that. This is frequently a card of graduations, of completions of a major cycle. So in their head, they're thinking about what that end point would be. They're thinking about the end of the journey, the end stop, the destination, but they're not there yet. They're working their way towards it. For a lot of you, it feels like they're working their way towards freedom. So it could be that they're having to put in extra hours that will allow them like a pay raise or a salary raise, which would allow them to have more free time or more vacations or this or that. They're working their way towards something, like they have their eye on the prize. It could be you, Gemini. It could be that they see you as someone they want to build a life with, but it's almost like they have to build it for themselves before they kind of welcome you into their world. It seems positive. So then what's going on here? In their heart space, they have 7 of Swords. That's kind of sneaking around energy. It doesn't always have to be like, the classic liar, cheater, thief, as we like to say. But yeah, there's something about doing something in secret. I think, okay, I'll clarify it, but here's what I get from this. I actually think this person is trying to build something almost behind the scenes so that they can surprise you with the final product without you actually knowing that it was going on the whole time. For most of you, it feels very positive. It's your birthday season, right? So this could even be indicating somebody's working very hard to plan like a celebration and surprise you. But yeah, there's, in a sense, it's a little bit of sneaking around because they don't want you to see them, in broad daylight, in the bright sunlight, right? So, and if it doesn't have to do with that, it's if this person is, again, wishy-washy or hot and cold, they don't want to tell you everything that's going on, because they want to present you with something that is a golden ticket, that is the golden opportunity. This is representing you. It is also a card of Capricorn. You could be dealing with another earth sign, a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I could absolutely see that. But yeah, it's like they're trying to, for a lot of you, I have to be honest, I think they're working on themselves. They're trying to get their body right. They're trying to get their mind right, their finances, their fill in the blank, so that they can come to you and make a really nice, rooted, grounded offer with stability, something that's legit and reliable, versus something that's just kind of fly by night, like, oh, I didn't really have time, but I just threw this, proposal together. I threw this offer together. So like, I don't know, like, do you maybe want to go out? Like, it wouldn't be that. They're trying to make an offer that sparks your eye, that catches your attention, because they do see you as, don't misinterpret how I'm saying this, but as almost like a valuable prize to be won. And I don't mean to put that in like a weird materialistic sense. It's just they view you as quite valuable, and so they wouldn't want to make an offer to you that is less than you deserve. So they're still sort of figuring out the concoction. I'm sort of seeing the idea of temperance here, which is a card of Sagittarius, mixing up the ingredients, like trying this, trying that, trying to perfect the offer, perfect the skill of something, so that when they finally present it to you, they know it's at its absolute completion, or its absolute like best quality or best condition that it could be, in order to maybe win your heart over. And even if this is just the idea of working on themselves to muster up the courage to ask you something, they want it to pack a lot of bang. They want it to pack a lot of gusto. So let's clarify this 7 of Swords. Why is that coming up in their heart space? They could still be dealing with maybe the ramifications of another relationship. I don't necessarily get that they're married, though they could be. This is sometimes the card of the wife. In terms of the action they're taking, I don't think it's immediate. With Earth energy coming through, I think they want to present you with an offer, but again, they want it to be right. They don't want it to be sloppy. Why is the 7 of Swords coming up in Gemini's person's heart space? What I was going to say is if they are getting out of a relationship, it could be a relationship where somebody was a little bit secretive, or maybe there was, some third-party activity, or things just weren't being said out in the open. The person that they were dealing with potentially wasn't very upfront about their feelings. So they may have had some head games being played with them in the past, and so maybe they're very cautiously getting back into the dating game. So clarifying it is the 8 of Wands. Again, a really great card, all about fast, swift, rapid action, growth, movement, travel. It could be that this person would need to travel to see you to make an offer, Gemini, with these 2 cards coming up. They think about you when they're at work, or whatever it is that they do to pass the time. You frequently come up in their head. They think of you. You come across their mind. and they want to rush in and make an offer, but I just keep getting they're not ready yet. Or I'm hearing it's not ready yet. So I don't know, are they, they obviously this isn't for everybody, right? But just to give an example, it's almost like they're wanting to pick out the perfect ring, right? And put the perfect stone in it. Or again, metaphors, guys, right? It doesn't have to be literally the engagement ring, but it's something about it's not quite ready yet. We got to cook it a little bit longer. We got to work on this a little bit more to really perfect it so that when they do come in, it's almost that like they want the assurance, something about their own confidence in knowing that what they're presenting you with is worthy of your time. It's actually really beautiful energy, but I could understand that perhaps you're a little bit frustrated because it's not moving as fast as maybe you would like. Some of you may be losing hope, but let's hop into your energy and sort of see what the universe wants you to see about this. Some of you might be dealing with a Libra as well. All right. Could also be that your person may either be getting out of a marriage. Yeah, there could be a divorce with your person with either an air sign or an earth sign, another Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Doesn't have to be. I mean, there's a lot of signs coming up here, right, guys? I don't mean to like rattle them all off, but sometimes confirmations fall in a certain place for a reason, so I like to share those with you. So interesting, coming up in your energy in this spread, you have the same card. So 7 of Swords, again, secrets, secretiveness, seclusion, doing something without wanting to be caught or not wanting to be seen. So let me digest this. I want to make sure I'm telling you the right message. So they're thinking of you and oh, this is cute actually. Okay, you stole their heart. I think that's what this is because this is coming up in their heart space. So it's not only indicating that they're trying to maybe do something in secret to surprise you. And I want to be clear, for most of you, this is a good surprise. Because it's coming up as your energy, what they're thinking about, what's on their mind, or really what they're feeling, what they're wanting to express, whom they're wanting to express something to. It's you, because this is like your representation in this spread. It could be that you're thinking of, like the phrase, I'm packing up and going home. It could be that you're thinking of tossing this aside or trying to, it's almost like you're trying to convince yourself that this person isn't the one so that you can move on and not have any strings attached. That's important. That's very important. Because I think a lot of you have written this person off because they are incredibly slow moving. Earth energy. A lot of you are dealing with a Capricorn. And there they are coming up again in your heart space. So, I mean, that's confirmation for a lot of my Geminis dealing with a Capricorn. Yes, there's a lot of messages in here for you. If you're not, that's okay. Some of these messages will still apply. But yeah, I keep getting you're both looking back at each other, wondering if it could ever be or if you could get together. And I don't mean to always make this about the person of the past, but that's just sort of, I don't know. That's sort of what I'm getting. There could also be something about new love with a Cancer or a Pisces, like a brand new person that you may just meet casually, socially. It could be friend of a friend or, at a coffee shop, whatever, in quarantine, however that's going to work. But yeah, for others of you, there's a person of the past that you're thinking of and they're thinking about you too. It's like you're both looking back at each other. That's sort of what I get. But there's really not a lot of communication though. I think someone is planning for there to be. In fact, someone's planning a lot of communication. Multiple messages could be coming through with another air sign, a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But your action involves both movement and communication. So let's get there, but let's keep going on yours. So your person's thinking about you. You're thinking about giving up on your person because it's taking too long. I keep hearing like cutting the final strings. Something is pulling at your heart, but I think a lot of you are making that difficult step to face forward and move on. Because in your heart, you want someone who gives something back to you, reciprocity, right? If you're going to put your time and energy into something, you want someone to be able to give that time and energy back to you. And I mean, that's not that much to ask in a love relationship, right? Here's the thing though, this person is capable of giving a lot, of being very dedicated to any task at hand. It does seem though that their hands are tied, that they're wrapped up in some other project or with some other person that, I mean, I don't know. Maybe your person isn't totally into monogamy. And I mean, there's no judgment here, right? I mean, I know certainly everybody doesn't feel that way, but you do have a couple queens coming up. So I'm just putting that out there. If it's a same-sex couple, beautiful, because that's probably representing you. And then maybe you're dealing with another earth sign. If not, it could be that your person is potentially trying to work their way out of a relationship that, again, there may have been some sneaking around or some things that were just not brought to light. And once those messages are relayed, it seems like that would free them up and allow them to come into you, Gemini, to again make that offer with purity, with good intentions, without like necessarily like third-party activity. Because I mean, that's what you want. I don't think you're entertaining the idea of third-party activity. In your heart, you want passion or a Capricorn, right? But there could be and no offense, right? I'm never attacking you when I say this, but with the devil, it can indicate unhealthy behavior or toxic behavior. And in a relationship spread frequently, that can have to do with codependency or engaging in activities that are not always in our highest vibration. And I don't mean like sexually. I'm talking about more in terms of like fooling around with someone knowing that they're already spoken for, that kind of thing. Again, like there's no judgment here. I'm just relaying the devil isn't always positive, right? We know that. So it's up to you to interpret, why is this devil coming up in your heart space? Is it just that you want really exciting passion? Is it, if it's not literally a Capricorn, is it the Capricorn energy that you're borrowing from, right? Maybe you have Capricorn in your chart saying, I want someone who's going to work tremendously hard to create a beautiful life with me. And that's the thing, this person has the potential to do that. They know that that's what you want, and I think that's why they're working so hard to get there, to be able to give that to you. But in the meantime, there's something that hasn't fully been severed off yet, or there's something that they're still trying to wrap their head around how to close out the cycle, something about coming to the conclusion about something. I don't dislike your person's energy, if any, and I mean, quite frankly, some of you may, you know, in a different way of viewing this, if you're already with this person, this could just be that they're planning to surprise you for your birthday or something like that, right? Like maybe they're surprising you with a trip, you're going to go travel, but they're having to work a little bit extra hours to save that money, or, you know, fill in the blank, etc. But, so, hold on, I want to clarify the devil. It's like the Beatles song, she's got the devil in her heart. I don't know all the lyrics to that song, but that's cute. I always love when that comes up. Why is the devil in the heart? Because you love Capricorn. And maybe it's both. Maybe it's like an extreme sexual connection with someone who either works a lot, is very dedicated to their job, or with a Capricorn. Yeah, you're trying to move on from the devil, though. Six of Swords, you're trying to move on from unhealthy behaviors or toxic partnerships, or people who, quite frankly, just let you down in the past. People who are like energy vampires, or got you to do things that you knew weren't right, but at the time it was like, well, I like them, and so maybe I'm willing to, you know, give a little bit more than they're giving. But then it's like, well, when do the scales equal out, though? Like, you can only give so much before, you know, you can't pour from an empty cup. That expression, right? Two of Cups came up earlier. So you might be dealing with a Sagittarius. I was sensing that earlier with Temperance. That's why I was talking about the alchemy, the mixing of the ingredients. That's what I mean about someone is perfecting the offer that they're able or willing to make to you or wanting to make to you, but it's not quite cooked yet. It's half baked right now. Some of you might literally be chefs or cooks or something like that. But yeah, I mean, in your heart space, you're trying to move on from someone, but they just keep calling you back. It's probably someone from your past. Well, obviously, it must be someone from your past. Some of you may actually be headed towards another Gemini. But I just got to call it like I see it, so I'll clarify it. But what's happening is you trying to move away from the devil, right? Again, it could be multiple things we've talked about, right? But your action card is literally going right back to them. I'm sorry, I know that's not what everybody wants to hear. And I mean, you know, forewarned is forearmed, so watch the energies, right? Be alert, be aware that if you feel like you're being called back by a person in your past who you would rather sever ways with, you're not certain with the Seven of Swords. Again, there's something, it's like you're leaving two swords there just in case, so you could come back for them if you needed to. This is saying to me, like, as you start your journey to move on to the next person or find new love, something happens with this person or this, whatever the devil stands for. It could be an opportunity, it could be a job, right? It could be a coworker, a friendship, right? That you're like, that's it, I'm done. You end up having to rush in, and that's the thing. It doesn't happen slowly. It happens very fast. So that's what I mean. I think this person who's trying to come in and make an offer to you and almost like put it in your lap, like, please will you have me? Please will you accept my apology? Please will you go out with me? It's slow to get up and running, but once it does, I think it happens quite quickly. And there's something about your reaction to the situation requires you to like, I'm kind of getting it's now or never. And I mean, that's kind of a scary message in a sense, and I don't mean for it to be. I'm not trying to do fear-based readings, but there's also something kind of cool about it. It's like, I gotta be honest, I think it's your wish for this person to change the tune of their song and to maybe give it one last chance. Because I think you're both thinking about it, but something about this says to me the ball is in their court. They would have to be the one to take action forward and make it happen. And I think a lot of you, again, are growing weary or impatient that they're taking forever. And, welcome to dating a Capricorn. They're not the fastest, right? But they're reliable as shit. They will get it done if you're dealing with a high-vibing Capricorn. And I think we've probably all dealt with any zodiac sign where there's different levels of, their vibration and their energy. But you're dealing with a high-vibing Capricorn, I think they do have the dedication and the effort. It might just not be all their attention is focused in on you now because quite frankly, it can't be. There's something else that's holding them back. But something happens because this is showing up in your heart space for a reason, Gemini. I can give you 1,000 reasons why, but you know the actual answer, right? Everybody's story is a little bit different, but what this represents can be, the main things, a Capricorn wanting and desiring sexual passion, or in your heart, you truly do want to move on from behaviors that have held you back. But again, I gotta be honest, in your action, what action forward are you taking on this spread? You're going right back to it. So maybe somebody comes around, maybe eventually they do reach out to you and present you with that offer. And just as you had started to move on and go on dating apps or see new people, you're just like, oh my God, it's my person. Yes. You know what I mean? There would be excitement there too. So it's not all bad, but I know for those who are really struggling to disconnect from relationships from a past that you feel kept you stuck, that's coming up as it might be a trigger in the coming months. So again, forewarned is forearmed. You can do whatever you want with that energy, right? Nothing is set in stone. We all have free will. But so for better or worse, it's cautioning you. I'm sort of getting you're going to do essentially a 180. You're going to set your sights on new horizons and be like, okay, I'm going here next. Something happens where I think an offer or a message or a communication comes to you eventually that I think you've been waiting on. And I don't know what this is. Maybe this is anger. Maybe this is tearing someone a new one. Like, how could it take you this long to, whatever, There's speed. And I mean, he's the master communicator, right? At least of the knights, right? The Knight of Swords. That's your energy. This is your card, Gemini. So that's what I mean. You're the one who rushes in to, I think, accept an offer. Or the opposite. Maybe it's like it's now or never and maybe you're moving or there's something finalized where it's like you need to tell this devil off or tell this person, this Capricorn, this whatever, this sexual dynamo how you feel about them. And you're like, listen, I'm really sorry to drop this on you, but I have to tell you right now because I'm leaving tomorrow. And do you know what I mean? There's a sense of rush. There's a sense of speed. Something needs to be said. One more card for the Knight of Swords. What needs to be said here? What is Gemini relaying here? Are they receiving an offer positively? Are they telling someone off? It's probably not going to tell me because that's too specific, but I'll try for it. What is the Knight of Swords wanting to communicate? What is Gemini? Why is this coming up in the action for Gemini? The Knight of Swords, please. Why is Knight of Swords coming up in Gemini's action? It's not going to tell me. All right. Any little hints for Gemini, the Knight of Swords? All right, I'm gonna try this deck because it's not telling me. Why is the Knight of Swords coming up in Gemini's action card? Oh gosh, you have a lot. All right, let's see. Interesting. All right, so this may also have to do with new love. Something with a Cancer, another Gemini, or a Virgo. These two cards wanted to be seen earlier too. They were sort of bottom of your deck. This could have to do with someone's, something about a mother holding you back, or maybe maybe you're moving in with your mother, or something about a mother. Standing up to your mother, or standing up to a Cancer. That could be it as well. Okay, it's someone who's been silent for, okay. The High Priestess is the silent woman. She doesn't speak. She's a recipient of messages from God. I think this is you, but it's also representing your person as they've been silent for quite some time. And then all of a sudden they're like, excuse me, trying to get your attention. Literally, the magician wants to be seen. And it's communicative energy. It's Mercury. It's relaying information and communication. That's also your card as well. There's a lot of Gemini energy here. So you could be dealing with another Gemini, but someone who has been silent finally decides to be seen. somebody finally decides to communicate something with warmth and passion, right? That red cloak, there's passion and like, there's an importance to this message that sends you down this, oh my gosh, I need to respond. Like it lights a fire under your ass if it wasn't there before. But for most of you, I just keep getting something that you were waiting on patiently, right? Silently hoping it would come in. Something comes in that excites you or makes you want to communicate something quite swiftly, okay? I just keep going in circles, but anyway, that's what I got for you, Gemini. Please do like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what resonates. I will see you very soon for more tarot. Bye. And happy birthday.